One lunch on the second test at Edgbaston, and we have seen 2 wickets fall for 98 runs. But majority of the 98 runs being scored by Yashasvi Jaiswal, who once again stroked a brilliant 50. But towards the fag end, KL Rahul was dismissed in the 9th over, tried to play it soft hands, a rising delivery from Chris Wokes was bowling really well, dragged it back onto the stumps. But as the session neared, with just about 7 minutes to go, Karun Nair, who had survived some close LBW shouts, he just got a great delivery from Bryden Cars, by the way, and leapt up from the wicket. He had to fend at it, and a straight catch taken at slip. And 31 of 50, another missed opportunity for Karun Nair, who just has now one more innings potentially remaining in his second comeback. But Yashasvi Jaiswal once again stole the show. And first comments when you have to look at it, Harshad, what do you make of this pitch? Some help for the bowlers, easy wicket to bat on, or do you think there are still some difficult moments for the Indian side that they had to encounter? Is it good bowling? Firstly, I think England bowled much better than what they did at Leeds, if I may add. But again, we saw in Leeds it was 97 for 2. Here it is 98 for 2, if I'm not mistaken. I think Karun fell cheaply. Just in that last over before lunch, Karun fell cheaply and Rahul fell cheaply. So, is it giving you leads like deja vu, or do you think it's something different, this pitch?
I don't think I see a lot that's different over here in Birmingham, Siddharth, when I compare it with what we saw in Leeds, and that's to do with the kind of stroke making that I'm reminded of on day one in the first session over there, and what I got to see today. It was bright and sunny. Remember, Ben Stokes was under the cosh to begin with. Once India had started to pile on all those runs, that perhaps the wrong call was made by Ben Stokes after winning the toss in bright conditions to ask India to bat. The conditions look similar. It's open out there. It's nice, shiny. It's bright. There's a little bit in the surface, I would say, but that's perhaps just as much as what you would expect the pitch to aid on day one. Exactly what was being said for the Leeds wicket as well. And I see this wicket being on similar lines as the wicket in Leeds was. However, that being said, the one thing I'm interested to see as the match progresses is how that wicket of Karun Nair you were talking about, from a little, I think it pitched somewhere between good and short, around that length. I think that ball was pitched and really leapt on Karun Nair. He wasn't clearly expecting it to bounce as much as it did. So when I take into consideration that, and even KL Rahul's wicket, in which he to just jump a bit as he was trying to negotiate with the ball, how is it that area behaves in terms of that little awkward bounce or more than obvious bounce that we saw on a couple of occasions? That is something about this wicket that interests me. Is this just that one patch, or are there going to be more such patches that we will see going forward? But otherwise, we didn't see any spin bowling per se. So, and also the first day, can't really comment on how much turn one can extract from here. But it doesn't look like, Siddharth, you're going to be seeing that the batters from both sides get troubled a lot. Early indicators are it's a good batting pitch.
Those 2 wickets, just you analyze the lengths, it is on that back of a length or a short of a good length area, okay? Wokes got it to leap. Wokes was bowling good rhythm, by the way. So he managed to get it to leap. KL Rahul tried to ride the bounce, but unfortunately went back onto the stumps. With the Car's dismissal, he has got that extra pace also. He can touch close to 90 miles per hour in a lot of ways. He was bowling well. He was also getting into a bit of a rhythm. But then what happened was that suddenly one delivery leapt off from a back of a length. I would again say it was a back of a length. He fended at it and had to be caught. But otherwise, it's been a very flat deck. You saw the stroke play that Jaiswal was doing. He uppercut, he drove. Towards that backward point, third man region was his primary scoring area when you look at it. So, Yashasvi Jaiswal yet again starts off well. But I'm not going to read too much into milestones. Let's be very honest about it. A 50 or 100 is only appreciated from now on if it only helps in a team winning. We had 500s, but you still never won. You still didn't win leads. So that is why Jaiswal now averages over 85 against England. If he can convert it into a big score and ensure that England are under the pump, then and only then the century or any milestone that he achieves is going to be good.
But what he's done is, what's been good to see is the fact that he's looked in control. I didn't see too many false shots over there. I didn't see a lot of shots in which he didn't lose control. He looked in control. He didn't change gears even after KL Rahul was dismissed early on. So every time that the ball was pitched up, he was up to the task. He did, I think, slash on one occasion and miss it. But otherwise, all the slashes, all the drives that he went for mostly resulted in mounted. Look at that, Siddharth. He scored 11 fours.
44
runs.
So,
exactly. So every time that the ball was a bit loose, and he was given the opportunity to extend his arms, especially in exactly the region you were pointing out, a little more square or backward of square, that area we saw him take the jump as well, just jump a bit and try and play the ball, just slice it over the infield into that area. So he clearly knows the field that's been set for him, and I think England wanted to tempt him. The one thing I realized early on was that there was no one protecting the cover region. There was a man who was very square, but there was no one around the cover, because I think they were and there was an extra man, I think, in the slip cordon after the 4-5 over mark as well than usually is the case, because I think they wanted to show him that, listen, this is the area, you go target it, but they were expecting him to nick one to the slip cordon, which is why they wanted to tempt him a bit and try and go for the drive. But as we saw, he looked in control and he went for all those drives, regardless of what the ploy was and what the situation was, because remember, it was an early dismissal for KL Rahul, so that puts pressure on you as the other opener. But he stayed true to his game. And this is the way Yashasvi Jaiswal, we talk about baseball, but there's jazz ball as well, that he's shown us on multiple occasions. And look at that strike rate. He's batting at almost 90 strike rate at the moment. That is very good. You take that in ODI cricket, Test cricket, it's a luxury. So it is courtesy him. In fact, even Karun Nair, I'm just going to go back to the talk about the pitch we were having, Siddharth, that Karun Nair's strike rate wasn't too bad either. He ended with 62, but I think it was a little higher than that at one point. But even he could go with his drives, even he could go extend his arms on a couple of occasions, as we saw. So run scoring is there. I think if you're able to negotiate with the new ball, just first up, that's going to hold you in good stead going forward.
See, Yashasvi also has got to do a lot of catching up, because his 4 catches.
Catching?
He
needs to do a lot of catching or catching up?
He has to do a lot of catching up. Okay. I use the wordplay deliberately, because his 4 drops resulted in 165 runs. Hurtful for India. I mean, it was hurtful at Leeds, those 165 runs. Here, he's gotten a good start, 62, but then we have seen often milestones can only be looked at if you do well. I hope Yashasvi has a good game. He's been taken out of the slip cordon, by the way, in this test match. That's what we've been told. So it's a good start for him, but India, this particular next batter is going to come after Shubman Gill. He holds the key. Basically, if India are to get 550 or 500 or something below than that, this batter in Rishabh Pant and Yashasvi Jaiswal, they hold the key along with Shubman Gill.
Are you expecting to see Rishabh bat in the upcoming session?
I think he might bat. I think he might bat, because somewhere I think England may have their plans for Jaiswal. They may not want him to get a big score, because remember, first time in Leeds he was dismissed for 101. It was his lowest 100 ever. So that is why, I mean, it's ironic. Lowest 100, what the hell is that? But yes,
it's an oxymoron.
Oxymoron indeed. So yes, Jaiswal will have to score big. India will have to aim at 500, 550.
Looks like that kind of a surface, right? If you want a competition out of it, if you want this to go into the last day, and you as the team batting first and then eventually batting third as well, you want yourself to give the best chance of winning, then you need a good first innings total.
Yep.
And indicators at the moment, the signs that I'm able to pick is that it looks like a good batting surface. You should ideally be batting more than a day on this kind of a surface. How many runs you end up scoring is dependent on how much intent the batter shown. But I think what Yashasvi has done is sent across a very positive message to the Indian middle order and the lower order. Hopefully that would have now been given a proper shake after that Leeds test match, that listen, wake up, we need runs from you as well. So once one of the openers gets runs, it's always a positive sign. And the rate at which Yashasvi has scored runs will not just hold him in good stead going forward. Remember, he already has 100 in the series, and now you add 150 against his numbers. So he's already setting the tone for himself. He knows he's guaranteed 3 more matches. It's not like the axe is going to be on him anytime soon. He had a wonderful series in Australia as well. Yeah. So it's very good from his personal for his personal growth as an Indian opener, as well as obviously for the Indian team. More assurances for you, and this is exactly why we said while there were some question marks over him going into the series, first time that he's going to be there, it's going to be swinging conditions. But while he's not encountered any swinging conditions till now, what he's doing is, in times that it's the kind of conditions that suit him, until he goes to a Lords, which is also flattened out a bit. But let's say
every pitch in England is flat.
A Manchester, for that matter, then at least by then he would have racked up enough numbers that eventually he can show.
Well, you say that Yashasvi Jaiswal is a certainty for 3 games. It's all but given. But Karun Nair, missed opportunity yet again, because in Leeds he batted number 6. He was out of position, frankly, when we have to look at it. But Karun Nair at 3, yes, he did survive a couple of close shaves. It's a strange kind of a knock from Karun Nair. Yeah. He left deliveries which was not supposed to be left. He had some wonderful drives which showed that he's a classy player. But then, just at the stroke, he fell. If Karun Nair doesn't do well in this test match, do you think then his second innings comeback, which he's had in the Indian team, it's done? He's not playing Lords, he's not playing Manchester, he's not playing Oval. Is that the end of Karun Nair's aspirations then to stay in the Indian cricket team, if he fails for the second time in Edgbaston?
I think, Siddharth, you could be looking at him for another test match. And that's to do with the domestic experience he's got, and to do with the fact that this is his second innings in the Indian team. He's no newbie, he's no rookie. Sai Sudarshan is a newbie. He looked like very much a rookie as well in that first test match that he played. With Karun Nair, I think he deserves that bit of a longer rope. He's shown promise. He showed promise in the second innings as well, remember, but he hit the ball straight back to the bowler. I think it was Vokes that he hit the ball back to. Again, looked like a harmless delivery. Today's delivery was much better in terms of it being a wicket taking delivery, but he'll be ruining the fact that he got a start and he got 31 or 49 until he got out. So it's obviously a missed opportunity for him, because even he would have not thought that it'll be these kind of conditions he will get, and those who've come into the team after him and are relatively younger in terms of experience are getting all the runs that he would have wanted to score. So now he's seen everyone around him. He's seen a Gill score 100, so those who bat before him and those who bat after him score 100 as well. He saw Rishabh Pant score 100. Today he's seen Yashasvi Jaiswal get to a 50 as well. So that's bound to make him feel that, listen, I've got to pick myself up as well. He will surely get another opportunity to bat in this test match, and he would hope that this 31 can become maybe a 61 or a 71 at least, if not a 3-digit score.
Because if you look at the entire batting lineup, which has been the constant from Leeds, one changes, no Sai Sudarshan, Rishabh, Shubman, KL, Yashasvi have all scored runs. He's the only individual who's not managed to get a big score in this 3 innings so far.
He's the only non-centurion, na?
He's the only non-centurion in this lineup.
Yashasvi has 100, KL has 100, Gill has 100, Pant has 100.
Only he's the guy who's not scored.
Exactly.
Which is why the pressure will be more on him. He also knows it. I mean, the way how he fell, he realized that yes, it's a missed opportunity. I should have ensured that I capitalize and stitch a very big stand. Imagine 100 for 1 would have looked so much better than a 98 for 2. Of extra wicket loss with 7 minutes left for the lunch break. So that's why it's a missed opportunity for Karun Nair so far. But if he doesn't do well in the second innings, Harshit believes he may play the third test. I also incline there isn't much of a turnaround. I think you only have a 5-day break for the second test or a 4-day break. But if he doesn't do well in the third test, game over. I think his India career can then be said goodbye, because we have seen in the past, even peak Karun Nair, he had that triple 100. After that, he had a couple of knocks in Australia where he failed. He didn't do well. So that is why now Karun Nair needs to really deliver on that particular aspect. But then looking at the bowling, I thought England bowled well as compared to Leeds. Okay. Although scoreline might have been same, but I thought they bowled slightly better, and it was led by Wokes and Cars. Wokes in particular, what rhythm he's been bowling with. He troubled Karun Nair the most. Yeah. He troubled even Rahul the most. Jaiswal in the channel, he probed and probed.
I don't think Karun was able to read that swing bowling on display from Wokes.
Although he did bowl one delivery which was wide of the crease, he angled it in, he tried to get it away, but Karun had the line covered, he drove.
Yeah, but all those leaves, Siddharth, gave me an impression. And remember, on one of those on one of those occasions, in fact, it wasn't necessarily a leave, but as he was in that period trying to negotiate with the swing, he left one, and then there was a DRS call as well, which he was lucky to escape.
Yes. No shot offered. It impact was in line, but then it was umpire's call on hitting, and the original decision was not out. So that's why, yes, it's a very, very good sign that he escaped. But yeah, he struggled. He totally. That's why I said at the beginning, it was a very strange innings from Karun Nair. He was brilliant when he drove, but I am sorry, he looked clueless in certain aspects when you look at it. So yeah, do you think that this is, the broadcasters have said that this is a shared session?
I believe so too. I wanted to touch upon that as well. But I think, yeah, because see, the opposition's also taken 2 wickets. Had been 1 wicket, perhaps I would have been more inclined to give it as an India session, like a clear India session. But I think I'll take the fact that, yeah, and it's not like these were tough conditions in which 98 runs were scored. These are batter-friendly conditions we saw. So,
and I think scored a decent rate.
But do you disagree with the broadcaster?
I kind of disagree. I still think
India session.
I think so, because see, you've already gotten a good platform of 98. Okay. Yes, the wicket fell towards the fag end of the thing, but then it was good England bowling also. But I think with Jaiswal's attack, I think it still should have been India's session. But yeah, I mean, I do agree with that sentiment also. It's not wrong that, yeah, you lost a wicket at the stroke of lunch. It could have been dodgy. Gill came in. What if another thing had happened? But then in Leeds also, similar thing had happened. We said, yes, it was a shared session. But I thought England were in far more momentum at this point. I think here, India do have the momentum despite those 2 wickets. So I think it will be a shared session. I do agree with that also, although slight disagreements on that. Let's take a couple of super chats that have come our way. A mindless and senseless captain / coach, Rakesh Bhushan, is saying, in display, more focus on scoring runs lower down the order, but not prioritizing taking 20 wickets. Why 2 finger spinners? GG was poor in England during playing days, still doing the same. Everything will be on the team selection. I don't think people are going to wrap their heads around it. But we will all look foolish with the criticism if India go on to win.
See, if India go on to win, it will obviously be a historic win, Siddharth. India
first time you won an Edgbaston.
Exactly. For the simple reason that you haven't won here, this is perhaps by far one of the more inexperienced sides that would have played in this particular stadium as well. Although Gill says it's the best Indian team to have come.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what he said yesterday. But let's see. We will have to wait and see. And at the outside, Rakesh Bhushan, I totally get your sentiment, because it's a sentiment that we sort of share as well. That it's difficult to understand how you harp on the 20 wickets bit, and then you go in with 2 bowlers. Then you're expecting a few overs, obviously, from Nitish, and then a few overs from Boshi. How's that going to get you 20 wickets with the 3 seamers that you've gone with? I sort of fail to understand as well.
3 seamers, you're including Prasidh, Siraj and Nitish Reddy.
You got Akash also.
Akashdeep. But 3 out-and-out pacers, that's it. And one proper spinner in Jaddu. But it's not going to be easy. And yes, I think this team selection will continue. We'll continue if India don't do well. And Rakesh Bhushan is saying, KL, if he wants to open, he needs to be decisive on front/back foot. He was not able to move. The scoreboard was stuck in crease. England bowled him on the stumps probing line than they did in the first test and he succumbed. He has to tighten more. I think England had far better plans for KL Rahul. He struggled with the swing early on. He was not knowing what to do. He couldn't rotate the strike. That one delivery, tried to run it, right the bounce, he just couldn't do it. He was stuck in that sense. Jassi Singh, just go down a bit, Pawan. I can't read the full comment. Jassi Singh is like saying, Sid, you are right. Within a month, we forget Pahalgam, Asia Cup happening, Legends Cup happening, women's matches happening, YT channel unbanned, so much drama for nothing. I've done a video on this. You can check it out, folks, about despite Operation Sindoor and Pahalgam, India's sporting ties with Pakistan is only going to increase in the coming months because of the development that we have had regarding the Asia Cup, where India will not play Pakistan once, but they'll play them twice. Such is the structure of the groups that is there. You're going to play them in the Women's World Cup, but take other sports also into account.
So you were telling me, I think the tournament starts in the UAE.
In the UAE.
Despite India being the hosts.
Yeah. Because Pakistan can't play any games in India. So they'll play all their games in the UAE.
So is the structure more like what we had with the World Cup, where the host didn't play the first match, but played game number 5, 6, the 2023 World Cup?
Yeah, no, 2023 World Cup, Pakistan played in India.
No, I'm saying that time the first game wasn't played by the host nation. That's also happening this time. Yeah. Which is why tournament starting in
Maybe UAE, India will play Sri Lanka in the first game. We don't know the schedule yet, but India-Pakistan, September 7th.
I thought tournament starting in the UAE that way.
It will start in the UAE because Pakistan then will have to play most games. India-Pakistan will happen in the UAE. So why not make the UAE the host? It's happened in the past. 18 also, I think India was supposed to host, but it was hosted in the UAE entirely. Pakistan, most of the things, it's happened there. So this is a problem. You've allowed other sports to happen. We all thought, let's make a statement in cricket. But in cricket, the statement's already been made. You've got 3 India-Pakistan matches when it comes to men and women. Okay, Women's World Cup's happening in Colombo. India-Pakistan. You're going to have hockey matches. India-Pakistan Asian Champions Trophy and Junior World Cup. FIH Pro League is only on the condition that if New Zealand don't play.
Okay.
The situation is New Zealand won the Nations Cup. So they will go into the Pro League. They'll get promoted to the Pro League. Ireland get relegated to the Nations Cup. But New Zealand, because of improvement, they have declined to be part of the Pro League in the previous thing. That's why Ireland was allowed to compete. But now in the upcoming season, if New Zealand says, we can't play hockey because our standards are not that high, then the runners-up of the Nations Cup go into the Pro League. And the runners-up this time were Pakistan. So we are waiting on New Zealand's confirmation. So it is, why should we be surprised, Jassi Singh, in a country in which our soldiers were fighting a war in 1999, proper war in Kargil? You played the World Cup. India versus Pakistan in Old Trafford. You played them there. So there is nothing surprising at all. Freaking awesome saying last time 500 plus scored at Edgbaston. The first innings was in 2017. No 500 plus has been scored in WTC in any innings. Wow. It'll be a record first then if that happens in the WTC cycle. Because I remember, in the 2 matches or Ashes, no, they didn't score more than 500 if I'm mistaken.
But what about this one?
That was 378. 400 and...
No.
England, West Indies.
Match... South Africa played.
South Africa have not played.
Didn't South Africa play a match prior to the WTC final?
Yeah, but that was at Chelmsford, not in Edgbaston.
No, he's saying no 500. So he's saying just Edgbaston.
Just Edgbaston in this
WTC cycle.
in Edgbaston.
Okay,
yes. Anshu Mishra is like telling you, Harshit. Now, Kuldeep should seriously think about taking Australian citizenship. As India do not need him, but he will play a vital role with Lion to make Australia win in subcontinent and replace Lion. I mean, I don't think you can immediately get fast-tracked in the Australian team. Fawad Ahmed had to wait for a long time to get fast-tracked. But no, it's not happening. Kuldeep Yadav, it's been the case with him ever since he started playing for India. Whenever
I don't know if you guys joined, but Siddharth reminded me of the fact that yes, at one point there used to be this joke about Kuldeep picking up a fifer and not playing the subsequent match. I think it started from that Dharmshala match only, Siddharth. And even prior to that, Kanpur as well. No, Kanpur he never took a fifer.
No. Somewhere in the 2018-19 period.
In that leg, yeah, and that it started around that Virat Kohli.
You remember 2019 World Cup? Kuldeep is our number one spinner in the world. Ravi Shastri had made that. One bad match against England in Edgbaston. Where was that number one comment? He was never backed after that.
Yeah. So anyway, it became a thing that he would pick a fifer and then not get to play the next match.
Yep.
This time around, I don't know what that reason is, but he's not picked a fifer. But even then, he's not here.
Ashish Dhar. Arshdeep should have played in place of Akashdeep. Different angle, but then everybody who's on the bench is considered to be the best player. That's what Nikhil has said ad nauseum. That yes, whoever is on the bench is considered to be the greatest player who couldn't play. But then we don't know on this wicket. I think there is no left arm pacer at all.
See, if we're the same people who hold this Indian team of not being consistent with the bowler, Akashdeep, remember, he missed out on the Sydney Test match because of an injury, and that's why Prasidh played. So, if you're looking at it from that point, did he do anything wrong per se? Not really. Do the conditions suit him much more? Perhaps yes. Will it not aid Arshdeep Singh? That's not what I'm saying. But Arshdeep Singh will perhaps have to wait his chance. Remember, I'd said the time even a month before the series started. I think it was Gulati and I who picked up Arshdeep to be there in the squad. And I thought to begin with that every time that you will not have Bumrah play, Arshdeep will be the guy to be bowling. But I think you possibly either saving him for the second half of the series, or you saving him for conditions that will suit his bowling even more, which is maybe Manchester then, where things could where the aerial conditions are likely to be more swing friendly.
See, we are relying too much on conditions. In England, it's all flattened out, okay? It's not like a road like Pakistan, but it isn't a seaming condition of England or that we have seen. In fact, Australia is now more seam and swing friendly. And South Africa.
As was seen in Sydney.
Yeah. South Africa and even New Zealand. New Zealand, if you get through those first couple of days, then you're okay. Because after that, then it becomes flat as a pancake. So yes, that is the thing. Gio Jose is saying, I think Sanju Samson is better than there to bat. As I said, whoever is not in the team, he'll always be the greatest ever. He's saying, I think Sanju Samson is better than there to bat. Karun Nair is an excellent batsman, but does not take responsibility for taking long innings. Rahul needs to take leadership and be assertive. Well, if he can't take leadership...
I don't think he wants leadership.
Leadership, he's burnt his hand already.
Yeah.
Big way. So, that is a huge issue. Saturn, wow, Saturn's joined us from outer space. Just go down a bit, Pawan. Will Gigi and company? It's gone. Saturn's lost in space. Sorry.
Saturn's got no rings.
He's got no rings. Sorry, Saturn. If we get that comment, we'll tell you again. Okay? Yeah. Okay. This we have taken. India, Priyanshu Singh. We'll take these last two comments. Rahul Dravid, Vinod Singh. Sundar is as good as Kuldeep at 8 with tail, but half a bowler. He's not an attacking batter, but solid batter. At least bat him at 6. India not picking Kuldeep is like Oz not picking Vaughan for Agar. Whoa, what a comparison. India not picking Kuldeep is like Oz not picking Vaughan for Agar. Okay, but then remember, at one point, Vaughan wasn't picked because there was a McGill. Stuart McGill. Stuart McGill was a very, very good bowler.
But he was already there before Vaughan had come into the side.
Yeah, but Vaughan had a shoulder problem, then he had a finger injury, and
In
those
fact,
2-3
eventually
years.
Siddharth, he more than sideline, he ended Stuart McGill's career. Yeah.
After the comeback, I mean, McGill, he had Vaughan on the ropes for 2-3 years. Then McGill lost control. He bowled too many full tosses, too many short balls. And when Vaughan came back for the second time, legend. Enough said. And Priyanshu was saying, India has no option but to make around 500 with the bowling they have picked. Jaiswal, Pant, Gill has to go big. Can't trust others. Long live umpire Sharfudullah. Yeah, Sharfudullah gave that not-out decision, na? And he has had a decentish test match. Maybe the West Indies will want to import him, the umpires, because they had a horrible match. I mean, I saw that test match. 4 cast iron outs not given.
And the double standards with the ball there at the back.
Oh yeah, that's also true. That's a really big issue. So yep, India, it's a shared session. In England have taken 2 wickets. India have taken 98 runs on the board with Jaiswal looking good. What do you think this second session? Because now you'll have 2 more hours. 8:10 is the tea break. What do you think? Will Jaiswal get 100? Do you think Gill will continue on his merry ways? Do you see Pant blitzing away?
I actually, Siddharth, I think I'm going to go with this being India's session. I think I haven't seen much, and at some point spinners are also going to be coming on. In Bashir, in fact, we saw bowl
1 over.
1 over right towards the end. So I think this could be a session that India dominates. So I'm going to go India get to 210 in this session.
Wait, we are not talking about Leeds, folks. We're talking about Edgbaston. Same thing happened. 97 for 2. Yeah. We dominated the second session. End of the day, 3 wickets only had fallen.
I underplayed India in the first innings.
I want to reverse jinx it.
On the runs part. So I'm going to go 210 for the loss of 2 wickets only.
So it will remain 210 for 2. And Jaiswal, that means, is getting 100.
And Gill would have moved past 50 by then.
50. I'm also tempted. I think, yes, it will be India's session. But I think run scoring won't be that easy as we found in Leeds. I think it will be a bit more, you'll have to work harder for your runs. But yeah, I'm also thinking it will be India's session. Jaiswal will get 100. I mean, what a streak then he would have had. Oof. In, I think, 4 out of the 7 tests, he scored 400s.
And first test match, I think he has this thing, no? Perth also he scored 100.
Perth, he scored 100. He didn't score in the India-England match. I think he fell for 80, if I'm not mistaken.
Hyderabad, you're saying?
Hyderabad. I think he fell for 80. Then he scored a double 100.
2 double hundreds then.
Yeah, he scored 2 double hundreds. So that's why I think Jaiswal... Yeah, he scored even against West Indies now, 171 on debut. So, yes.
That was also the first match.
Yeah, but then he can score 100. I mean, he's got a great average against England. Started the England tour well. I'm being a bit more generous. 240 for 3.
240 you're going with?
Yeah, I mean, how many runs? 142 runs. 2-hour session with the ball now a bit more softer. Overhead conditions are also sunny. Make merry with the bat. So 240 for 3. And I think Shubman, will stay. I think Jaiswal
will be the one to get out.
After scoring 100.
So again, quote unquote, low
Leeds.
100.
Low 100. I find that word so... It was the lowest 100 ever scored. I mean, is it a duck? Does it feel like a duck? I really don't know. Yeah, I think it'll be India's session. Let's see how it goes on. So, yep. We'll join you back for the second
Are these
session.
live images?
No.
It looks like... They look like deferred images.
It looked like, yeah. Oh, no, I think they have got this thing now. They finished their lunch early and then they still shadow practice.
I think they have the shadow practicing was just...
Jaiswal averages 86.2. Oof. Can go to 90 or 100 by the end of the series if he continues to have such a good run. So, yep. That's all we have here. We will join you in the tea break, which will be at 8:10, followed by a lengthy post-match discussion, which will be at 11. If they don't complete the overs on time. But if they complete the overs, it's 10:30 then. Okay, so how much? 28 overs have been bowled, Pawan? Let's check it out. How many overs have been bowled in the
25, so they're 5 short.
25? Oh, goodness. Wait. Oh, yes.
5 short.
11. You're not finishing the overs
No,
on
but
time.
now you'll have Bashir bowl, na? So maybe you can have a couple of overs you can compensate there.
Still, I think you're looking at 11 end. These teams nowadays cannot finish their overs, and that's what Usman Khwaja
But
pointed out.
stop clock is on na now though.
Does it even matter?
Now you need to start quickly, otherwise there's penalty.
You know what was the bad thing about that? In the Ashes, the maximum penalty happened in the rain-impacted game. 10 overs for England, 9 for Australia. But Khwaja is saying, hello, that was a rain-impacted game. How can we be so slow then? But there is a genuine concern because conditions, spin-friendly conditions, you run through your overs in time, but you can't do that with a pace bowler. Pace bowler, it is impossible to finish your overs on time because 4 pacers takes time. So something has to be done, but I think we're looking at 11 end. And I don't see it at 10:30. So, yep. Join us at 8:10 for the tea break. Until then, check out all the videos and me, Harshit, are putting out on Sports Today. So, give us a like, share, and subscribe, and we'll join you at 8:10 for tea. Bye bye.